Hey everyone, it's Alyce, and today I'm going to be reacting to my very first book haul and letting you know if I actually read the books I buy. So, last month's haul video has very quickly become our second most viewed video ever, and our top viewed video is a haul as well. So it's quite clear to me that you guys love book hauls and that you love seeing me haul books each month. So I thought, why not go on my blog, go all the way back to 2014, so 7 years ago, get up my very first haul, which funnily enough was a September book haul, so we can do almost an exact comparison, and see whether I actually read any of these books that I bought way back in 2014, or whether I'm just buying books for literally no reason. I do not know what to expect. I'm hoping it goes well. I think this might just be me shaming myself in a very dramatic fashion on the internet, but thank you for coming along on this journey with me. Also, if you've watched our channel before, you might notice that our setup has changed a little bit. We've decided to switch from the red sofa to the red chair because the babies kept climbing all over the sofa and getting all of the books off, which is why our bottom shelves are just an absolute mess. And we also needed to change our baby gate situation because Sophia had learned how to open it, which is handy because we still need a gate because Ezra is too small. So things have changed and it'll be like this for the foreseeable future. So I hope that you enjoy welcoming the armchair to the Bumbling blogger family. But without further ado, let's look at this September book haul together. So the first thing I can see is that I bought 94 books in September 2014. This doesn't surprise me because I can remember this book haul being when Mum and I had just come back from a holiday. We went down to Weymouth. We bought so many books that we literally needed to buy another suitcase to get the books home because the charity shopping down there is insane. It's like buy one get two free, or like 3 books for £1, or like every single book was like 5p. There was a Works closing down sale as well, and like I got most of these books for like 8p or 10p or 50p at the very most. So I'm not surprised that there's a lot of them. I just don't really remember what I got there. I just remember the excitement of grabbing everything. So let's find out. To start off with, I put my ebooks at the top. So I had 4 ebooks that I'd bought. Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. I haven't read it. I'm still interested in it. It's a dystopian about a drought, I think. The cover's still really cool. So I'm still interested in that one. But I haven't got the sequel yet, which is why I've been putting that one off. I think it's just a duology. Then I've got Icons by Margaret Stoll. Can't remember anything about this one. I know that she's one of the authors of Beautiful Creatures and the Caster Chronicles Quartet. So that will be why I bought this one. But I don't remember anything about it and I haven't read it. We've got Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover, which I later picked up in a free bookshop and was like, oh, I'm interested in reading Colleen Hoover. Realised I already had it on my Kindle and hauled the physical copy. Still haven't read the Kindle edition. So this is 3 for 3 on the not reading so far. And last is 10 Tiny Breaths by K.A. Tucker. I recognise the cover. It's a gorgeous cover, but I do not know anything about this one. I haven't read this one either. So it's not going well. Let's get down to physical books. Oh my god. There's a picture of all of the books all over my bed and there is a lot of books. What was I thinking? Okay, The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. Read it. Loved it. 5 stars. Will read again because I want to reread it before I read the 3rd book in the series that came out last year. Yay, I've read a book. Angel Fire by L.A. Weatherly. I own the entire Angel Trilogy. They're very chunky books. I think they're either 500 or 600 pages and it's just a paranormal romance about angels. I don't think that's really something I'm into anymore, so I have been actually thinking about unhauling them. I didn't realise that I got hold of the sequel that long ago because I know I had, if that's the 2nd one, I know I had the 1st and 3rd one for ages and I just couldn't find the 2nd one, so I was waiting to buy them and read them all together. But if I've had it for 7 years, I'm probably going to have to unhaul those because I still haven't read that. We've got the Tomorrow When the War Began series by John Marsden. I've read the 1st book. I bought them all after reading the 1st book because I enjoyed it that much, and then I never carried on with the series. I will do that eventually though. I'm still really interested in those. My friend AJ, who lives in New Zealand, he read them as like a young teenager because he's an Australian author, so they're basically like required reading over there. AJ recommended them, absolutely loved them, and I love the first one. I do trust his recommendations, so I will eventually pick those up. We've then got The 100 by Kira Cass. I have read that. I can't remember anything about it. I've been thinking of rereading it and carrying on with the series because I am still interested in it. It's just very different to the TV show, so I didn't take it in as well as I wanted to. But there was a character called, I think her name was Glass, that was really interesting. So I will probably end up rereading that one as well. But that's 3 books I've read so far. The Maze Runner box set by James Dashner. Okay, I was planning on reading these last year. I wanted to read the first one at least. I don't agree with James Dashner as a human being, but because I already owned these when all of the allegations came out, I thought I might still read them. But every time I think about picking them up, I'm like, you're a terrible person and I don't want to be associated with your books. So that's telling me I should probably unhaul it, because I genuinely thought I'd only had those for 3 or 4 years. I didn't realise it was 7 years. And if I still haven't even picked up the first one, yeah, I'm probably not going to. We got the Delirium Trilogy by Lauren Oliver. I read the first one over the summer, so that's good. I've finally read that after owning it for 7 years. It was quite enjoyable. I really can't really remember much about it. I'd forgotten the main character's name, which I think was like Lana or something. Lara? I'd forgotten her name before I even did my wrap up. I know the love interest was called Alyce and the best friend was called Hannah. But for some reason the main character's name I just cannot remember at all. It's an interesting concept. Love is outlawed and all teenagers have to have like a vaccine to mean that they'll like never love because it's dangerous. So it's a really interesting concept. It's just a little bit kind of insta-love and cheesy. But I'll probably carry on with these. They are quite thin, and I did read the first one very quickly. I've then got 3 books by Jeffrey Eugenides, which are Middlesex, The Marriage Plot, and The Virgin Suicides. I've read none of them. I'm still interested in them. The covers are still stunning. I don't know why I haven't picked them up yet. They're kind of classics, like more literary fiction. Sometimes I find that a bit intimidating. I've put underneath that Middlesex is about a trans person, The Marriage Plot is about a literature graduate who attempts to find love, and The Virgin Suicides is about a group of young women who commit suicide. So they sound like they're going to be quite difficult subjects. I don't know if that's what's putting me off, but I will read these eventually. Then we've got Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince, of which I now own the Fancy Schmancy Illumicrate box set, and I still haven't read them. Oops. I will read these eventually, as I said before. I'm still interested in them, but I kind of want to read them in like publication order. So reread the first 3 books in the Mortal Instruments series, and then read the Infernal Devices, and then reread the next 2 books in the Mortal Instruments series and finish it off. But I've been putting it off because I didn't love the Mortal Instruments when I first read them, and I don't really want to be disappointed because everybody loves her so much, and I've just been gathering her books to read them eventually. But I'll probably give those a go at some point as well. I really am shaming myself. 4 books. I don't even know how many I've looked at so far. The Impossible Knife of Memory by Laurie Hill Sanderson. I have read this one. I read this one last year. We did a challenge in February 2020 when we only read books beginning with the word the. So every single book we read that month was like The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, The Impossible Knife of Memory. And it was a really fun challenge, and it got quite a lot of books unhauled for us because we got a lot off of our Read Then Go pile. This one I did keep. I think I gave it either 3 or 4 stars. It's about a girl whose dad is suffering from PTSD, and she's like trying to hold it together because he is suffering a lot and struggling, but he doesn't want to ask for help, and she doesn't feel comfortable making that choice for him. It's very hard hitting, and it was a really interesting story. I just don't know if it's one I would ever reread, which is why I'm thinking of unhauling it, even though I did enjoy it a lot. I've then got Shadow Heir by Rochelle Mead. This is the 4th book and the final book in the Dark Sworn series. I've managed to find the second one in a charity shop since then, but I still haven't got the first one, so I actually haven't had the chance to read these. I'm still interested in them. I'm just not buying them full price to read when I've managed to find the second and fourth ones so cheap, I'll just wait until I spot these in a charity shop and then eventually pick them all up and give them a go. Now we're moving on to the books that I purchased in Weymouth, because apparently all of those previous ones were either Kindle or eBay. So I wasn't just buying books in Weymouth. So I've got some books that I hauled that were my mum's, because she said I could feature them in the haul as well. I was interested in most of these. I'm still interested in Dr. Sleep by Stephen King. Really not interested in the David Beckham book, but Mum likes him a lot. I've got a feeling we've actually unhauled Bloodshot by Sherry Priest, because Mum thought it was mine and I thought it was hers, and neither of us were interested in it. But I will say neither of us have read any of those books. So it's going well so far. And for my mum as well. Oops. Oh, I've then got two Observer's books, which are the Observer's Book of Wild Animals of the British Isles and the Observer's Book of Dogs. I bought those as part of a collection because I had the Observer's Book of Birds and Trees and Shrubs when I was younger, and I was absolutely obsessed with them. They've got like little illustrations and like information about all the different things, and they're just lovely little collections of like information about nature and the world around you. So when I spotted those two, I just wanted them because they matched the ones I already had. So I haven't read those. I will probably eventually read them with Sophia when she's a bit older. But I just wanted those as a kind of nostalgia factor. I've then got the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, which is The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men. I have a conflicting relationship with Patrick Ness. I loved The Rest of Us Just Live Here, and I quite enjoyed... I thought I'd enjoy one of his other books, but maybe not. I really didn't like Release, really didn't understand the point in And the Ocean Was Their Sky. And I've been putting off picking up The Knife of Never Letting Go because I don't want to be disappointed because the covers are gorgeous. And so I'd rather have the three of them looking beautiful on my shelves and never read them than read them and realise I have to unhaul them because they're terrible. I'll probably pick them up at some point. But yeah, I just don't really trust Patrick Ness's writing, which is not the best because he is really, really popular, but just not for me. We've then got three books by Douglas Coupland, J-Pod, Generation X, and Hey Nostradamus. I've got a feeling I've already unhauled J-Pod because I'm just not interested in it. I might have already unhauled Hey Nostradamus because I think that's about a student-teacher relationship and I'm not really interested in it anymore. I'm keeping Generation X because it inspired Hadouken's album Music for an Accelerated Culture. And that's just cool to me. It was cool to find that in a charity shop. I was really impressed with that find. I haven't read it. I might read it eventually, and then if I don't like it, I might just let it go, because as long as I've got the Hadouken album, that's what matters. But it is cool to have the book that inspired that album. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, I haven't read any of those. We've got Unholy Ghosts by Stacey Kane. I've got the first and the third book in this series, and apparently it's like True Blood but with ghosts. Read True Blood earlier in the year, didn't enjoy it. I don't think I would enjoy it with ghosts either, so I'm probably going to end up unhauling these, and I haven't read them. The Bumper Book of Simon's Cat, a nice easy one that I can definitely have read right now. It's just a nice one to like flick through, but I haven't even flicked through it. What's wrong with me? The Dark Glamour by Gabriella Pierce, I'm pretty sure I've unhauled it. It was described as like the Blue Bloods series by Melissa De La Cruz, but I think it's actually like paranormal romance, like more adult, and I was expecting it to be more YA. I don't know. I might still have that one. I definitely picked up the first one because that's the second one in the series. I definitely picked up the first one. I think I got rid of both of them, but now I'm wondering whether I might still have them. I don't think I'm interested in them anymore though. The Cuckoos Calling by Robert Galbraith. Haven't read it. Will never read it. Gotta unhaul it. Don't care. The Power of Six by Pittacus Law. Haven't read it. Haven't started the I Am Number 4 series. I think we own all of them. I might get to them eventually, but it's not happening now. Mum read the first one and really liked it though. So, like, comes highly recommended. I just don't think she ever bothered carrying on with the series either. So, did she really recommend it that much? Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's a classic. I'm still interested in it. I haven't read it. Jane Eyre. Elephant by Raymond Carver and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I haven't read Brave New World, and it's the one I'm most interested in. Read Jane Eyre. and I hated it, if I'm honest. I need to look up if I read Elephant, because I know I read a short story by Raymond Carver when I was at university, but I just can't remember if I read the rest of the collection or not, because I think the short story I read at university was in the collection. So I finished it off when I went home, or I might have thought about finishing off when I went home and then never done it. It's on my want to read list. Yeah, I never finished that off. That's embarrassing. Oh, they were his last short stories before he died. That's quite sad. But yes, read Jane Eyre, didn't enjoy it. I don't get the hype. It's creepy. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I know that a lot of people love it, and I wish I was one of those people, but I just don't like it. But I do want to read more classics, so again, I'll read all of these eventually. They'll definitely be staying. I just don't know. I haven't read them yet. Forgotten by Kat Patrick, I'm still interested in. It's like a girl with amnesia. She can see the future, but in seeing the future, she forgets everything that's happened up to the day that she's on, I think. It sounds very timey-wimey and like messing with your memory. I'm interested in it. Haven't read it yet. Here's the works sale. I knew this was coming. Deception by CJ Redwine. Haven't read it. Still interested. Wither by Lauren DeStefano. That's actually in my These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 months list at the moment. So I will be reading that by next summer, or it will be going. I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's like The Handmaid's Tale, but for young adults. Pretty colours. And I've owned the whole trilogy, so I'm hoping to give that one a go. I'm just surprised I've owned it for as long as I have without picking it up, and I'm now thinking I probably won't end up enjoying it, but it's okay. I've got Beautiful Disaster and Walking Disaster by Jamie Maguire. I've actually got the rest of the series as well. I don't know much about them. Books with butterflies on the cover normally do me well. Retribution by Gillian Hoffman, one of my favourite books of all time, had a butterfly on the cover. I should have other examples. I can't think of any other examples. Maybe one book with a butterfly on the cover did me well once, and I've just been leaning into it ever since. But I picked these up because they had nice covers, and since then Jamie Maguire's been a bit of a terrible person, so I've been thinking of unhauling them. Mum actually got me a signed copy of Beautiful Disaster for Christmas one year. I don't know if that was before this one and I bought the paperback to read because I didn't want to read the signed hardback. But I haven't read it yet. I might try the first one. I probably won't. We've then got a Garth Nix selection, which includes Seventh Tower of the Fall, A Porson, The Keys to the Kingdom, Lady Friday, Drone Wednesday, and Superior Saturday. I own all of the Keys to the Kingdom series. Haven't read any of them. Haven't started the A Porson, Clariol, Lyrial, Sabriel series either. And I haven't started the Seventh Tower series. So I'm probably going to try them eventually because they're all very, very short and very, very skinny and also quite popular. Especially A Porson, that whole series this year. Old Kingdom, I think it's called. Lots of people asking for special editions of those from like Illumicrate and stuff because apparently it's been continued, extended. So I am still interested in that one especially, but I'll probably read these with the babies when they're a bit older because they seem more like children's books. And I read one of Garth Nix's books by myself last year and I didn't enjoy it, and that was The Rag Witch. Oh, Dash on Lily's Book of Dares and The Lover's Dictionary by David Levithan. I've read both of these. I didn't like Dash on Lily's Book of Dares. I think I liked The Lover's Dictionary, but I can't really remember. But at least I read both of those, and they're also ridiculously short. The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa. That was the third book in the Blood of Eden series. I've got all of them. I haven't read any of them yet, so I should get a move on with those. Hidden, Destined, and Divine by Choice by PC Cast. I've actually unhauled Divine by Choice because I'm not interested in adult romance books about like goddesses and gods and things, and it's kind of paranormal romancy. I am keeping the House of Night books at the moment because I'm thinking of rereading the first one again soon, reacting to how I feel about it after like 15 years. Oh my god, it can't be 15 years. It must be 15 years. After like 15 years after I first read it. There's no way it can be 15 years. Must be like 10 years? I don't know. Time is weird in my head. I'm thinking of like reacting to old favourites again. So I'll reread the first one. If I enjoy it, I might carry on with the series. If I don't enjoy it, I'll get rid of those then. Fistful of Charms by Kim Harrison. I've got a feeling that I've unhauled this one because it was the fourth one in the series, but I kept the first one in the series. So I can give the first one a go and then possibly repurchase the fourth one. so I don't think I've got that one anymore. Same with Archangels Consort by Neely Singh. I think that it was the second one in the series. I never found the others in the charity shops, lost all interest in them, so I think that one's gone. And I've unhauled that edition of Specials because I ended up buying a set of the 4 books in the Ugliest series. So I also haven't read that one. I read the first book in the Ugliest series and never bothered carrying on with it. I own all 4 of them, though, from someone. I can't remember when I got those, but I did. Next up, we've got 9th Grade Slays by Heather Brewer. This is the second book in the Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. And it's like a vampire book that's meant to be funny. I just didn't find it funny. So I read the first one, can't really remember anything about it, and I've unhauled the second one because I wasn't interested in carrying on with the series, so that one's also gone without being read. 31 Bond Street by Ellen Horan. I've got a suspicion that was inspired by the suspicions of Mr. Witcher, and I was interested in that still. I like historical horror stories, so I am interested in it. I just haven't picked it up yet, but we will still have that one somewhere. The Accidental Life of Jessie Jefferson by Page 2, and I own the 3 books in the series now. I bought this one way back, and I got the other 2 in a charity shop either last year or the year before, so I'm still interested in these. I think they'll be quite quick, fun reads. Page 2 is a very popular adult author, adult contemporary, and these are YA contemporaries, so it'll be interesting to see how her style kind of translates between the 2. Just haven't picked them up yet. Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. I actually have unhauled this edition, I think, because I had a matching set of the 3. And I like this cover more, but I wanted the matching set. And I also, looking back, I don't like that cover at all. That looks so creepy. What was I thinking saying that I thought it was beautiful? No. My friend Anya keeps recommending these. Like, she really liked them when she read them way back, and she keeps recommending that I would enjoy them. I just haven't started them yet. I probably will at some point. I still like dystopian. It just always ends up seeming to kind of disappoint me, which is why I don't pick it up as actively as I used to. Still semi-interested though. Guardian of the Gate by Michelle Zink. I've definitely still got that somewhere, but I don't know what it's about, and I don't even know if I'm interested in it anymore. Haven't read it. Confessions of a Fallen Angel by Ronan O'Brien. That got put in an unhaul pile the other day. So you'll be seeing that soon when I actually film that unhaul, because I'm just not interested. The guy can like see when people near him are gonna die, but it's like a kind of literary fiction, so it sounds like it's gonna be less interesting than it sounds. So not into that. The Greatest Gift by Danny Lee. I'm pretty sure I've already gotten rid of that as well. The blurb literally just said something like, this is the story of his downfall, and I was intrigued, and then I was like, no, that's just lazy. I'm not intrigued anymore. I don't care. So I think that one's gone. Room by Emma Donoghue. Haven't read it, should have read it. I'm still so interested in this one. This is like a lady who has a son and is so scared of him interacting with the outside world and getting hurt that she like locks him in the room, so she's the only thing he's ever known. And that sounds really fascinating to me, especially as a parent now. I think I would enjoy that a lot more than I would have if I'd read it way back. But I have no idea where that is. I've definitely still got to have it because I wouldn't have unhauled it, but I've got no idea where it is. Reckless by Cornelia Funk. Cornelia Funk is the author of the Inkheart series, so I think I picked this up just because of that. I'm still like semi-interested in it. I hate the cover. I don't know what they were thinking with like the semi-transparent guy weirdly at the top. But I'm still interested in reading some of Cornelia Funk's writing. Shimmer by Alyce and Noel. Again, I haven't read it. It's the first book in the companion series to Evermore, and I'm thinking of rereading Evermore soon, so if I reread Evermore and I hate it, Shimmer will go. If I reread Evermore and I enjoy it and carry on with the series, I will also read the Shimmer series, so that'll be fine. But those are so skinny, they're like less than 100 pages. They're so small. Missing by Catherine McPhail. I think recently got put in the unhaul pile as well. It's just a really short story about somebody going missing, and normally the shorter the thriller, the less interesting I find them because they're quite transparent. So that's gone. The Age of Miracles by Karen Thompson Walker. I said that it seemed like it would be like the Fifth Wave, which is interesting because I don't think it would be. I've probably still got that one somewhere because I do like End of the World, Rapture, stories. I'm interested in all that shebang. I just haven't read it, and again, cannot remember where it would be. Oh, Strange Angels Betrayals by Lily St. Crow. It's the second book in the Strange Angels series. I own all 5 of them now. I think it's 5. Still haven't read the first one. I'll give the first one a go and then decide whether to unhaul them or not. The Gates by John Connolly. Still really interested in it. I haven't picked it up yet. I'm such a disappointment. Oh, the little boy finds the gates of hell in his backyard. That sounds so cool. Why haven't I picked that up yet? Damn. Acts of Violence by Ryan David John. The cover is spooky, I wrote underneath. It's literally just a bloody handprint. That one, again, really, really skinny though. So if I haven't read that one and I haven't unhauled it, I will... I mean, if I haven't read it. I haven't read that one. If I haven't unhauled it, I might think of picking it up before it goes. But I can't imagine it being one that I would keep after I read it anyway. I had the Saga of Darren Shan manga, volume 2. I will have unhauled that because it was the second one in a series. I'm now thinking Sean's going to see this and say, why the hell didn't you give it to me? But I think I unhauled it before I met you, babe, so I'm sorry. I'm still interested in the Saga of Darren Shan. I just haven't read past the second one, even though we own all of them. Whoops. And the last 2, oh no, this went far too quickly, is The Midnight Beast, Book at Us Now, and an unauthorised biography of Blink-182, of which I've read neither. So out of the 94 books, I think I've read 8. I'm just going to do a quick double check, because I can't remember off the top of my head, even though I was keeping count with my fingers. I think stopping and starting the camera, I think I lost it. Out of the 94 books that I hauled in September 2014, I've read 8 of them. I was hoping for at least double figures. I was hoping for at least a quarter of them. I mean, some of them, as you can hear, I've already admitted that I don't think I'm interested in anymore, and I've probably already unhauled them, or I will be unhauling them soon. So I don't feel too bad about it. It's not like every single book on this list that I'm like, oh my god, I'm so really interested in that. I can't believe I haven't read that yet. I'm so excited about it. Because I'm obviously not excited about them if I haven't read them in this long. Like, I'm low-key disappointed in myself because I should have read more. I'm kind of impressed because this is making me feel like I might be able to be a bit more cruel when I'm doing my unhauls, because I'm always like, oh no, but it still semi-interests me. But just looking through here, I'm like, actually, maybe I could be a bit harsher with myself. That might work. So the answer to the question is I read under 1/10 of the books I haul. Hopefully, though, with reading with and with finishing off the Delirium series, and with hopefully carrying on with Tomorrow When the War Began, I can get that. I can pump those numbers up, especially because I'll have unhauled some, so they'll come off. Maybe I'll revisit this in another year and be like, have I actually read any of these books yet? And it'll still just be the 8 of them, and you'll all be screaming at me, just unhaul the rest. But yeah, I'm feeling not too bad, but also a little bit deflated. Well, if you liked this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, I'd be super duper grateful. Leave your comments down below if there are any of the books that I've mentioned in this video that you think I should read straight away, or if there are any that you think I should definitely unhaul because I really won't like them. And then hopefully together we'll get this down to, yeah, I've read or got rid of every single book in that haul, so it's fine. I've dealt with them all, tackled, move on to the next haul. So maybe that's how I'll do my TBRs from now on, just pick them out of my oldest hauls until I've actually read the books I've owned for 7 years. Also, that makes me feel so old. I've been doing book blogging for 7 years. That is like over 1/3 of my life. No, just under 1/3. Well over 1/4 of my life, though. I can't do maths. 7, 14, 21, 28. Yeah, well over 1/4 of my life that I've spent on this. Oh no. Well, I'm going to go have an existential crisis and a breakdown. If you'd like to see me back here in a couple of days with another video when I will hopefully be panicking about my existence less, please tune in because we do post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So we'll see you again soon with another video. Bye! The Power of Six by Pittacus Law. Oh, I'm telling you, just Sean with all my sneezes.